And we are back in video number 4, turn number 7. We are with Germany in this E40 playthrough with our town and region house rule, concentrating on Germany's progress, or actually it's their regression right now, because the Soviets are attacking from Bessarabia into Romania. We'll do the Smolensk Archangel one later on. It doesn't look too sweet on the board, I don't think, for the Soviets, but you never know how these dice rolls are going to work out. They are balanced. They have 9 artillery each facing each other. There's a couple more German infantry than Soviet infantry, but where the Soviets can muster 1 tank, there is this German air wing that we hope to be getting somewhere towards, if not into, by the end of this battle. Let's see how it rolls out. The Soviet T-34 will roll in at 3 first and completely misses. Let's do their 9 artillery. We go all at 2s. Oh, that was quite good. Oh, it does look very good, actually. There are 5 hits off of Germany from that artillery. Wasn't expecting that to be quite as strong as that. 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. That's reduced that German infantry down by quite a bit. And then 5 at 2 from the mechanised and feet infantry that are there with their mechanised shoes. So 5 at 2. Oh, another 2 more hits there. That is a lot stronger for the Soviets than they perhaps were expecting. Well, Germany's reply will be, oops, bashing the camera in my excitement. We have 2 fighters and 2 tacticals, all rolling in at 4s and 3s. And they've scored 3 hits. Nice, 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 nice. 3 Soviets are gone. Then, from the knocked out 7 and the 9 that are still here, that will be 16 dice. I've got 12 in my hand of various colours. We roll the 12 first, all looking at 2. Not good, not good at all. Oh my god. Just the 1 off of the Soviets. That's one of their mechanised infantries. And with 4 more dice, yeah, I'm trying to see hard. There's no 2s there, is there? Okay, 4 more German dice to make up the 16 from that roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. With 4 dice that roll 6s, because you do that, don't you? And just the 1 hit again. Man alive, this could be perilous. Perilous for Germany. I wasn't expecting this at all. I thought that the Germans would defend that a lot stronger than they were going to, but obviously when you start rolling dice, anything can happen. Let's now go through the idea process. Do the Soviets push it? They've got plenty of artillery there still. I believe it's still 9 units. They are matching now in terms of that heavy hitting firepower. There's no point in them holding off. If you're going to go for it, we're going to go for it. So let's roll in the Soviet tank at 3. And it misses. And we're going to roll the 9 dice for their artillery units. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Double checking myself all the way. 9 at 2 for the Soviets to try and smash into Germany. And they've scored 3 hits. 1, 2, 3 hits. It's damaging enough. We can't complain because their first dice roll was so spectacular. Let's now have a look at Germany's reply. They have their 2 fighters and 2 tactical bombers. The 4s being the black dice. It doesn't actually matter. They've all missed. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. What's left of the German artillery? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So again, it's quite strong. Will it be strong enough? 9 at 2 to try to dissuade the Soviets from carrying on with this attack. And that's a bit better. Oh, there's actually 5 hits there. That's really good. That's 5 hits off of the Soviets, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to continue that poem. Let's now have a look at whether the Soviets continue. If the Soviets continue, they're likely to lose these units here. It's 4 plus 1 is 5. But if they carry on and get a good smash, they could leave this air wing wide open for this oncoming smash from the American air, which is in Sicily here, and the British air could possibly follow through. It all rolls off the island, goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, the bombers go 1, 2, 3, 4 into Romania and can land back into Yugoslavia afterwards. If the Soviets pull back from there and leave that bit of absorption, I think the Americans would not want to fly their bombers over it this time round. Yeah, okay, let's press this attack as the Soviet player. They will have, and we can do it with 1 dice roll this time, 1 T-34 at 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4 artillery at 2. Taking a chance here, I think. Well, that dice is just completely cocked. Let's roll it again. And we got just 2 more hits off of the German forces. Let's now roll Germany's reply. I think it's going to be the end of the battle this time round. 4s and 3s. The blacks are 4s. And 2 hits. That's 2 of these Soviet units are now gone. Let me find some chips to replace them. So that would be 1 left there. Sorry, I can do it that way around, can't I? No, I can't. It's that one there. Getting myself confused in all my excitement. In reply with the artillery from Germany, they will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice. All at 2s. And they've just scored 2 more hits. Well, yeah, that is going to end the battle there. So, left in Romania after this battle will be 4 artillery and those aircraft, and 1 tank will be putting back into Bessarabia and keeping its fingers crossed with the reinforcements that will come through from Ukraine just to back it up later on. Next up on that board will be that battle from Smolensk into Archangel. Okay, the battle for Archangel is on the board. For the Soviets, they have got themselves 4 artillery units and 6 infantry, meaning 2 of them have to be moved down to the 1 register for this battle. And for Germany, they have got 4 Panzer tanks. Well, if they're black and white tanks, they're going to be Panzer tanks. And they've got 3 artillery units to help them out there. Oh dear, oh dear. It starts off this bad, it's only going to get worse, isn't it? Let's have our 8 dice for the infantry artillery combinations. It's all going to go in at 2s, but we can do a bit fancy dice work here. We can have the 4 artillery at 2 in black dice and 4 infantry at 2 in red dice. Let's have a little look at how that goes. And they've scored 3 hits. That is all the German artillery taken out thus far. Plus we have 2 more at 1 that we can roll. Let's roll some lucky red dice to see if the Soviets can knock out any of the tanks. And they don't. But they weren't likely to, were they? Let's have now the 4 Panzer tanks with their black and whites, and the 3 artillery that have already been lost, getting their casualty roll. So the Panzers have hit twice, and the infantry have hit once. So that will be 3 off of the Soviets. 1, 2, 3. I think the Soviets are in the pound seat here for taking back the Archangel and getting back that IPC bonus they get, I think, for having that and the sea zone clear, if we remember rightly. Let's have a look at the artillery again. We have our 4 artillery with 3 infantry this time. So we use 4 and 3, all going at 2s, but it's nice to know who does the damage. And we, just the 1 hit. I mean, just the 1. It's expensive enough, but that's going to be telling. Now, Germany in reply have their 4 tanks, all going in at 3s. And they've just scored 3 hits. They just smashed them, absolutely smashed them. Do the Soviets press this attack? I think because Germany are weak in terms of what they can reinforce and their distraction from Western Europe, I think they must follow through the attack, same as their compatriots did down in Bessarabia, and sacrifice themselves right royally for the cause. So we have 4 Soviet artilleries that are left there. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. All going to roll in at 2s. And then we're going to... I just rolled 5 dice, haven't I? But... my mistake, but they've all missed anyway. I can't re-roll that one. Let's have the 3 German tanks, and they've scored just the 1 hit. So let's carry that on properly with the right number of dice now. We have 3 Soviet dice. They've scored 1 hit off from Germany. Germany's 3 tanks now will reply at 3s. And they scored 2 hits. Well, okay. I think now the Soviets can pull back from that justifiably and put that unit back into Smolensk, which would be up here. And we would do the Soviet reinforcement off camera. Obviously, Moscow units are going to be moving into Smolensk, and these reinforcements will be going into various places, probably Ukraine and probably Moscow itself. And I will see you when we get into the American turn, which is up and coming, and see what this air wing and this invasion force can do going into Yugoslavia, we believe. And onwards with the American turn. They are going to be battling in Romania. The units are already on the battle board ready to go. It is the remnants of this Soviet attack from previous turn. The Americans are going to be flying 3 bombers over from Sicily. They're going to be able to fly into Romania and land in Yugoslavia. A couple of the fighters that were on this carrier, they can get to Romania, battle in there to support the bombers, and land themselves into Yugoslavia. And all of the units that are here in Sicily right now can get on these transport ships and get themselves into this sea zone and land in Yugoslavia for a big whacking support there. Now, to support this carrier that will be naked when it gets into this sea zone, along with the rest of this landing fleet, wary of this bombers over here in Germany, we're going to be landing either this American plane, or probably this American plane that's in Gibraltar at the moment, and one of these 2 fighters that the Brits and the French still have here, which is on Sicily. And it just made me think how much I do like my model of my French aircraft. I think that is superb. It is supposed to be, apparently according to the rule book, a MiG-3. I don't think the French actually had MiG-3s in World War II. They may have done, I might be wrong. But according to my little bookie here that I use for my camouflage ideas, this is a Marine Solnair MS-406. Don't think it looks like that. I think that shape, with that upward swept nose and upward swept tail, is more like a Bell Air Cobra P39, if it were coming into focus. It's got that kind of that profile to it. But ignore all that. That's just me with my over exuberance with finding things that match up a little bit. Let's just put this down here and get on with the battle. It's all ready to rock and roll. Let me tidy my book away. 1 second. That's in focus now, I think. Right, let's get the 3 bombers on the board. There are 3 bombers rolling in at 3 and 2 fighters rolling in, 3 bombers rolling in at 4 and 2 fighters rolling in at 3. Get me numbers right. So, America now attacking, and they have hit nicely. Ooh, that is 3 hits from the bombers. All 3 have hit, and 1 of the fighters has hit as well. That means that all of the German artillery have now been taken out of that region. Any further damage is going to be taken on these planes, much more expensive for the Germans there. But in reply first, that's assuming that the Americans do survive this, in reply first, we have 2 fighters at 4s and 2 tactical bombers at 3s. Just one hit. One of the fighters has hit. That is not good. But the Americans will lose one fighter themselves. And now the 4 artillery, they got a chance here, we think, of getting another bit of damage done to the Americans. And they scored one more hit as well. So that's both the American fighters have gone down, which we are expecting. Are we going to press this attack? If we press this attack now, we will be taking on virtually 3 versus 4, a slightly reduced number. But the Brits that are over here, let me just show you, sorry. The Brits that are over here on Sicily with their planes, which we already half counted out, they cannot get to Romania from Sicily and bash those German planes and get back to a safe landing place. So I think they're going to have to risk it all, the Americans, and carry on through with this attack using their 3 brave American pilots. Dropping in at 4s, and they got 3 hits. Man alive, there's some hot rolling today. Let's take the 2 off of the tacticals and 1 off of the fighter plane. Oh my god. Yeah. I thought America were going to lose this, but they're going to lose it as close to win as it can ever be, I should think. I can't explain it. There's 2 at 4 and 2 at 3 in reply. Wow. And that is 1 of the 4s have hit and 1 of the 3s have hit. That's 2 American bombers have been lost. All that is left in that region now, in Romania itself, is that, well, apart from the falling over American plane, is that 1 German fighter in Romania. I think we can afford to let that live and keep this bomber back for another day. Not that the Americans have a problem with the expense of replacing it, but they have a problem with the expense of moving it all the way from America across the Atlantic and across into the war zone itself. So that will be the end of the American turn, and I'll look at the Brits and see where they load through next up. Okay, the Brits have got their feisty boots on now in turn number 7. They've bought themselves an IC, which they're going to put into Yugoslavia. They were thinking about making a couple of skirmishes. They are going to be rolling a tank soon to Greater Southern Germany, stealing the 4 IPCs and going back again. Well, why not? They're going to leave the Romanian factory to be attacked by the Soviets, because they figure the Soviets could make better use of that factory than the UK can. And there's no point going to Slovakia, Hungary, because they're only going to leave their use exposed a little bit further forward than they want to be right now, we think. But they are going to be making an attack. They are attacking into Sea Zone 113. There are 3 subs. They're going to remain there because the UK can't see them. They're only going to be going in there with 1 fighter, which has come off the aircraft carrier, and 2 of the 3 bombers of the UK mainland, all flying in, going to do a bash and come back again. After that, we'll do the attack into Denmark. Let's look at this one first. This is how it looks for the UK. 2 bombers at 4, 1 fighter at 3, versus the 1 cruiser, 1 battleship, 1 destroyer, and this transport, which is going to die because it can't defend itself anyway. So we have scored, that was a quick close one, we have scored just the 1 hit from that extravagant dice roll, which is that 1 destroyer which it goes down. In reply, you have the cruiser at 3 and the destroyer at 2. And there's 1 hit on the Brits. They're going to take that on the fighter. Yeah, it's the cheaper unit, but only just. Why not indeed? So, remaining in this battle for the sea zone of 113, or the air and sea zone of 113, is the 2 bombers at 4. And they've just smashed that cruiser out of the water. It will get its dying shot, and it misses. So that is the end of the battle in 113. All that's left in there, because that transport will go as well, will be submarines, which the UK are going to be covering off with these destroyers that they've got in 109 that will travel with the aircraft carrier to collect the planes in a moment. Let me get the battle for Denmark on the board. It's an important battle, this. Important, and I've just noticed that when I was setting this thing up, Germany were hiding a tank away in there. I must have put it up there at some point in time. I didn't know it was up there. That's going to make the job a bit harder for the Brits. But first of all, they're going to get their cruiser to roll in at 3 with its offshore bombardment. And it gets a hit. Oh, nice. So one of the German infantry is already down. Then, that's out of the battle. They have their anti-aircraft gun. There's 2 British planes flying over. They're going to get 2 shots at one, these Germans. And they've scored a hit. Oh, that wasn't expected. Let's take that fighter off the board. Sorry. Now, that can go back onto the board as a casualty for later on. I'm sure that's going to be chosen as a casualty later on. And we're going to go through with this British attack now. We have the bomber going in at 4. After that, it's 8 units on the ground. So the bomber at 4, it scores a hit. Another German piece goes down, this time the anti-aircraft gun. We now have, for the Brits, pretty spectacularly, we think, we hope, if you're a British supporter that is, we have 8 dice, all rolling in at 2s. 4 infantry, 4 artillery. And that is pretty terrible. For the Germans, that is, there's 4 hits out of that. 50% is slightly larger than we'd expect this time round, so we're going to take off 4 units from there. Oh dear. That, well, we're expecting to get in there, but obviously we're expecting, as a British player, to get in there with a few casualties walking wounded left. This might actually be, depending on the Germans' dice roll, a bit better for the Brits than they were thinking in the first place. Let's get on with it and find out, he says, waffling away. They have 1 tank rolling in at a 3 and 6 infantry all defending at 2s up there. And it's 4 off the Brits. Yep. 1 tank. I just had to double check my thinking then. Yeah, 4 off the Brits. So Brits are close to getting in there now. That is all that's left for Germany they can defend with. The 1 British bomber goes in at a 4, and scores its hit. And 4 artillery for the Brits. Well, 4 at 2. That other tank does survive. Okay. So 1 tank at 3. Gets a hit. 1 infantry at 2 doesn't get a hit. So this is more how we're expecting it to be. That British roll first time was quite OTT, wasn't it? Now, once again, the bomber comes in. This time the tank does go down. It gets its reply at a 5 and it misses. So the UK will be able to park these 3 units into Denmark. And I suspect Germany will be trying to hit back at them as hard as they can next turn, because obviously they don't want to leave that gate open, the back door to their chancellery. So I shall tidy all this back up on the board, and I will see you probably at the end of the turn entirely now. Well, we have reached the end of turn number 7. Italy and France have had their turns, although France's turn has just been to move their fighter into this major group, which is actually positioned in Yugoslavia here. Loads of Brits, loads of Americans there. Italy's turn, once again, it's been very difficult for them for the whole of this game. They've managed to reassign some troops by paying off some factory damage, but the convoy hit done by the Allied means that Italy have got a total of 1 IPC for next time. The idea of shuffling units around the southern coast here hasn't moved into any kind of forward progress, because should Germany start to retreat back too quickly to try to keep hold of Denmark and the back door to Germany's central state, they are going to be leaving holes here for the Americans to exploit down south. So Germany are in a bit of a quandary at the moment. I think with the Brits not going into Romania, leaving it for the Soviets to come through and take it, yes, Germany could build 10 units here if they wanted to next turn. But if they build strongly here, it will be few units that they can put into Germany or to Western Germany. There's a factory damage there to pay off as well, and try to take Denmark back. Obviously, the key to the back door to their chancellery, and also their factory up here in Novgorod. I think Germany want to hang on to that because they've still got aspirations of taking Moscow. Maybe not this turn or next term, but I think if they're steady up there, they could still pull something out of the hat there. So that would be the end of video number 4. I will see you in video number 5, which will be back with the Germans, our favourite side for this series of videos, and we'll see what happens with our town and region house rule.